Hi everybody. Today I wanted to do a short video about using the Boss Katana as a dirty pedal platform amplifier. What that means to me is setting up the amplifier in a way that it's crunchy but it's not quite compressed. That way I can use the volume control on the guitar to clean up the guitar tone, or I can use an overdrive pedal on my pedal board to overdrive the front end of the amplifier. I find that the Katana is a great amplifier for this, and I'll kind of show you why. The first thing that I'd like to mention is how the channel is set up. I am using the crunch channel set to about 30% gain. I'd suggest setting the EQ on the top of the amp to all 12s, just because I find that it's handy to be able to use that to adjust to the room. To get your basic tone, I'd suggest going into the Parametric EQ or the EQ tab on the Katana. I generally boost 800, or excuse me, cut 800, boost 400, and also boost the bass and treble a little bit and adjust the level to taste. What I end up with, let me just show you a quick example. Like this is with the EQ on. Here's with it off. So what I've done is I haven't really removed much mid-range. I've just changed it to a more pleasant sounding mid-range, at least to me. Again, with it on. Now, as great as the Katana is, it does not include talent. Now let's try that again without the EQ, just one more time. And that's how that works. Now, as far as using the effects loop on the Katana, I use it as a solo boost as well. So well, let me just discuss real quick the signal path. Maybe that'll help first. Where I have the guitar plugged in is into the drop, so I'm kind of following the rules into pitch right away. Now the drop is a polyphonic pitch changer. Basically allows me to tune my guitar at the click of a pedal. Right now I'm in E standard, D standard, E standard, D standard. So it's a pretty awesome pedal. Now if one person forgets and everybody else remembers, it can be a disaster, but a very handy pedal overall. Right next to that, or where the signal goes next, is into this tuner. The tuner is not the greatest tuner. I would not suggest buying one of these cheap Chinese Rowan or something like that. It's terrible. I'm going to replace that as soon as possible. Still works great as a mute though. And it will work to tune your guitar if you're conscious of the fact that it'll allow you to move it a few cents without changing the display. From the tuner I run into the wah pedal. And then from the wah pedal it goes into the East River Drive, which is EHX's version of a TS-808. And what that does is it takes me from here. So a considerable amount more gain. Not a whole lot of volume increase, because like I said, I did get the amp right up to where it's about to compress. So I'm getting more compression out of the volume increase from the pedal than I am actual volume, which is pretty nice. So there's check this is kind of a surprise, because it's a tube screamer into a crunchy amp. But check out how it works for this song. sounds awesome for that. So yeah, it works great for that. If I want a little bit more gain, I can use the glove, which is designed after a OCD. I kick that on, it's got a little bit more gain and allows a little bit more bass through. And overall about the same volume. Now I do use the effects loop as a solo boost, as I mentioned. How you do that is in the Tone Studio under the S/R tab. Just set up boost up the return volume. I have it set to about 130. Now, if you don't have any effects in your loop, you'll need to run a cable from the send to the return. But then you can adjust that solo boost just by adjusting the return level on that S/R tab in the Tone Studio. And I'll show you how that works right now. So if I I get a considerable volume boost. Now I can also add whatever effects are going on these three pedals. So I'll add in my delay and reverb. Now if I don't have the loop engaged, I still don't have that reverb. I don't have that reverb or delay. As soon as I kick on the loop, I have all that beautiful delay and reverb. So that's an excellent deal there. Now another thing that you might notice is this multi-stomp pedal. Now that I can use to stomp on some chorus. Funny thing is it won't turn on unless I have the loop on. So let's hear just that chorus by itself once. Now that multi-stomp is a multi-effects processor, and it is actually running two filters besides that chorus that pretty much stay on all the time, and I'll show you those real quick. The first one I want to show you is just a parametric EQ. It's an additional parametric EQ that I'm running there. What it does is it just spikes up the 500 hertz range, so it just gives me a little bit of extra mid-range so that when I play in single notes it fills it in and thickens it up a little bit. I'll show you without and with. Again, without and with. It's fairly subtle, but you definitely do notice it. Now, the next thing that I use that's always on is the exciter. Now, what this does is adds a little bit of bass and a little bit of treble, but in a real kind of subtle way. And I'll show you that again. This is without. And with. Again, without and with. So again, pretty subtle, but altogether, it really makes a pretty killer solo channel when I kick it on. And so if I'm just playing a rhythm. So yeah, it's so I'd say that the Boss Katana definitely makes a great pedal platform. Oh, hey, you know what? I didn't even get into the onboard effects. I do use the Univibe for this pedal, so if I stomp this in, I get the Univibe, which doesn't sound as good with the glove as it does with the East River drum. So there's that, and then in this I've got the DC30 set up as kind of a doubler. I use that to kind of, if I have a long guitar solo, it kind of breaks it up. Halfway through I'll kick that on and kind of makes it sound like another guitarist is playing. So there's that. Then I also have the reverb pedal. If I kick that on, it's going to kick in a plate reverb as well as the SDE 3000 delay. And how I tend to use that is if I'm soloing under the lead singer and I don't want to step on his vocal, but I want to fill in my guitar, I'll add that, and then I get my delay and my reverb without the volume boost. Or if I want to get crazy, I'll go real long on this with the tap, and then kick in the loop and have the double delay. So really, a pretty wide range if I go all the way back to just splitting the coils with no distortion pedal. To just the bridge pickup. To with some gain. Now you can run actually both distortions at the same time, or both overdrives at the same time. It's a little noisy. But that noise, what that does is it actually kind of defeats the noise suppressor. So if I'm in a venue where I'm not able to get a whole lot of feedback because of my noise suppressor in a good room, I can kick on both of those pedals, and if I leave my strings open, like right now I'm going through the monitors, so I probably won't get them as much. But if I'm standing with my cabinet in the room and I turn both of those on, I'm going to get some killer feedback. So that's a great way to get that too. So a lot of versatility here, and I feel like I can really do anything between the multi-stomp and the effects that I have, and the built-in effects that the Katana have. I feel like I have big huge rack of gear and everything, but it's really just easily portable. I've got 3 bags that I carry with me, 3 bags and a cabinet, and that's it. So yeah, that's it. Now, one other thing, I guess I'll show you real quick. If I kick out of the effects, now in case I do have a song, here, let's see here. In case I do have a song that has a clean part, like a start clean, and I need to go to a heavy part, the other channels are set up in that way, so I can go from a start clean to a really dirty, and then a solo. So yeah, without changing from bank A, I feel like I can do anything I would ever need to do in a gig. And I know with our current set, I can do anything. And 90% of the time, I'm right here in that dirty pedal platform in the effects mode, so that I can, manipulate everything. So, yeah, it works fantastic. And if you're thinking about picking one up, or if you have one and you're looking for some creative ways to use it, maybe that'll help.